Hey there, history buffs. Today we dive into one of the Cold War's defining moments, the Korean War, and how the United States played a pivotal role in shaping this conflict. Korea had been under Japanese rule until Japan's defeat in 1945. Following this, Korea was split along the 38th parallel, with the US overseeing the South and the Soviet Union taking charge of the North. In 1948, two separate governments emerged. The Communist North, led by Kim Il-sung, and the Democratic South, led by Syngman Rhee, both backed by their respective superpowers. Fast forward to 1950, and North Korean forces under Kim Il-sung invade South Korea, crossing the 38th parallel. This aggressive move set off alarm bells in Washington, where the invasion was seen as part of a broader communist threat. President Harry S. Truman, adhering to the U.S. containment policy, quickly sent U.S. forces to support South Korea under the United Nations banner. Now let's talk about some of the major U.S. military engagements during this intense conflict. First up, the Pusan Perimeter. By September 1950, UN forces, mainly composed of U.S. troops, found themselves cornered in a small defensive line around Pusan. This was a crucial moment, as they held back the North Korean advance. Then came the bold Incheon landing on September 15, 1950. General Douglas MacArthur orchestrated a surprise amphibious assault far behind enemy lines at Incheon. This daring move allowed UN forces to break free from the Pusan perimeter, recapture Seoul, and push the North Koreans back. However, as UN forces neared the Yalu River, the border with China, the conflict took a new turn. China intervened massively, sending troops to aid North Korea, leading to a bloody stalemate. After 3 grueling years, the war reached a stalemate near the 38th parallel. Despite continuous battles, the front lines barely shifted, leading to peace talks in 1951. One dramatic twist was President Truman's controversial decision to relieve General MacArthur of command in 1951 after his public criticisms of Truman's policies. Finally, on July 27, 1953, an armistice was signed, creating the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, along the 38th parallel, a tense boundary that remains to this day. No formal peace treaty was ever signed, so technically, North and South Korea are still at war. The Korean War had significant impacts. Approximately 36,000 U.S. soldiers lost their lives, and countless others were wounded, leaving a lasting impact on American society. It was one of the first major military confrontations of the Cold War, solidifying the U.S. commitment to containing communism and setting a precedent for future conflicts in Asia, particularly Vietnam. The war also spurred advancements in U.S. military tactics and technology, and cemented the U.S.-South Korea alliance, which endures today. The division of the Korean peninsula into the Communist North and Capitalist South remains one of the Cold War's enduring legacies. In conclusion, the Korean War was a key Cold War conflict where the U.S. played a central role in defending South Korea against Communist North Korea. Though it ended in an armistice, the tensions and impacts of this war linger on. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating history deep dives. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.